and welcome everybody to the Twins Off Daily podcast brought to you by twinsdaily.com. How the heck are you, Twins territory? I am your host, Master General, for today's episode, day 2 of the Podnanza, guys. This is exciting, as our listeners know. We put out content every single day without fail.
We don't call it
that the Twins don't play.
We don't call it content. It's art. Have some respect for your work.
Sports media.
We put out our art every day without fail that the Twins do not play a game. So I am gathered here. The two voices that you heard are my dear friends. Let's see, to my left here, we got Cody Schoenman. What's going on, Cody?
Hey, guys. If I'm being honest, I don't know much about them, Riley Quick, but you can't go wrong drafting pitchers and shortstops, right?
Can't go wrong. Absolutely
can't go wrong.
Everybody's a pitcher and a shortstop.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they all pan out.
Every single one. Every single one. Can't go wrong. Oh, man. Greg, we heard your voice. Greg T. Masterson. What is going on, dude?
Hello, everybody. I hope that this is coming out on Tuesday after a clip show got published Monday, but at the rate things are going, maybe it is going to also get published Tuesday. It might be a twofer. We're going to average an episode a day over the next 4 days, or over these 4 days. Maybe not an episode every day, but we're doing our best.
And you know what? Nobody else is putting out every single day that the Twins do not play. So
That's
how about
right.
this?
There's no podcast in this market famous for recording every day that also maybe employs you, Lou?
Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. How about this? Before we get in too much trouble here, let's talk about a quick walk-off question that we'll try to answer at the end of today's episode. We are recording this one tonight. This is Monday night. We are watching the Home Run Derby. Byron Buxton was just eliminated in the second round. Ooh, that's tough. But Home Run Derby, usually a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of it. So our walk-off question today is, what derby would you want to participate in? You have your own home run derby. What would the competition be? So think about that. Think about what you would absolutely own at if you were one of these contestants. We'll let you know what we're thinking by the end of today's episode. So like we said, today is day 2 of the Podnanza. Unbelievable. It's like we said, the 50th episode yesterday, our last episode. We didn't really get to all chat together. So I figured we could also just talk about a pretty exciting last couple of series that the Twins have played. I had an absolute blast at the Friday showdown between Paul Skeens, Joe Ryan, and Nelly himself. It was a ton of fun, guys. Did you guys see anything about that night on the Twitter sphere since you weren't able to attend that game?
Are you talking about Nelly?
Yeah, that night in general. I thought that was a top 5 vibes night in Target Field history, honestly. I had so much fun at that game.
I mean, that game, and I tweeted this out, I feel like, in the good old days, 20 years ago even, there was always these kind of big pitching matchups, and it was must-see TV, and people who look like me are always grumbling that there are no marquee matchups anymore or whatever.
Sure.
But, that game, even though both of them only went 5 innings, that was a really fun game. It was very good pitching on both sides. Both teams made a grand total of 3 mistakes for their pitchers. It was a pitching battle. As far as Nelly goes, I did not see him that night, but I did see him a month ago in DC in the exact same venue-ish, whatever. He did a post-game concert at Nats Park that started at 1 a.m. It was I wasn't super impressed, but it was fun to see Nelly. I'll say it like that.
Yep, I think that's very well said. My experience there, first of all, props to Target Field for bringing him in. Props to the Twins. I think that's super fun that they do that, and it drew so many fans. I think the attendance was 40,100 on Friday night, and a lot of people. I would say the vast majority.
Take that, Aaron Gleeman.
Yeah, take that, AG. He's just grinding. He's got the shaking little Arthur fist going right now, thinking about it. No, but the Nelly concert, so many people stayed for it. It drew a lot of fans. Really good for the Twins to keep doing stuff like that. I hope they keep up with that. With that said, the sound was absolute garbage from where I was standing. 2017. I still had a great time. I was vibing. It was really fun, but it was a noticeable difference from when they transitioned from the DJ set, like the Target Field, just music or whatever it is, DJ set, into the live music. I was like, oh, this has changed, and it is definitely not as good as what we were just doing. But anyway, great.
I think that's not a defect with or defect with Target Field. I think that might be a defect with Nelly, because when I saw him in Washington, it was the same setup, like put up a small stage right behind second base. And man, it was hard to make out anything at that, and not in like an old person getting angry at rappers way. You couldn't hear anything.
I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but my favorite was during his hit song "Ride with Me." When for the most part, most of the songs sounded pretty jumbled and rushed, and I don't know, you couldn't really understand what he was saying, but every 10, 20 seconds you would hear, "Hey, must be the money."
I'm thinking about the pitching aspect. Jokes aside, I think Irving Santana versus Chris Sale in 2017 was actually probably like the closest one to something like this level, because like those guys were both competing for the AL Cy Young that year. Like Irving was really, really good in 2017. I'm trying to think like if like Sonny Gray and Garrett Cole faced off in 2023 at Target Field, probably didn't happen. I know the Yankees were in town, but yeah, no. And then to see Duran's opening, like,
oh my god, magic.
Was incredible on TV. Yeah, with all the lights. It looks so cool.
It was very cool. And I was with some friends who don't go to a lot of Twins games, and it's fun seeing people react to that live for the first time. So great presentation. Like I said, I think maybe a top 5 vibes day ever at Target Field, just with how fun that matchup was with the post-game concert. Massive crowds. It was hot. It was so crazy hot, and
it was hot.
Sometimes that really sucks, but it was hot in there. Did
anybody, take off all their clothes?
Torrey Hunter did in 2015 when he joined the Twins. He definitely did. Oh man. Okay. Speaking of tangents, wow. We wanted to definitely talk about some of the biggest talking points from the first half here, but we're not going to go with those traditional, who is the first half MVP, who is your Cy Young, because guess what? All of our answers would be the same for those kind of questions. So we have a few kind of adjacent questions that we want to talk about, and probably end up with a few different tangents too, just about how this team is looking as they head into this All-Star break with a 45-47 record. Right off the bat, Greg, anything? Actually, Cody, I haven't heard your voice in so long. What's going on? Any initial thoughts from you on this first half recap here?
I think a very prominent storyline is the starting pitching. I know if you want to count March as a month, but in April and May and July, so far, their starting pitching ERA has been like in the low 3s, has been pretty, admirable. But then in June, it was just awful. It exploded. I think the staff's ERA was 6.07 as a rotation and bullpen. So that's kind of like the biggest reason as to why the Twins find themselves hovering around 500 and about 3 games back of the last wild card spot. I think, that month was catastrophic. I think it even dates back to when they were the Senators, like how bad that month was pitching wise. Greg, am I right in that?
Yeah, I was there and it was terrible. And somehow the Twins were worse.
Yeah, not even Walter Johnson could save them. But I
mean, play about it. Oh, damn Yankees.
Maris. But yeah, no, I think I've been really encouraged by the starting rotation besides that 1 month. Joe Ryan is an all-star, finally, deservedly. Chris Paddock is hovering around a 5 ERA, but he's still, he's performing well. I think he still is a Twin as of right now. Right, Greg?
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
I might have to double check on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just had their stats open just to confirm. And it's time for everybody's favorite game. It's our favorite segment as I look for the slide. And it is Chris Paddock still a Twin? And you know what? We've been saying this in jest for a while, but this is a very relevant question around this time of year. And at least July 14th, 2025, Chris Paddock is still a Twin.
Confirmed. Confirmed. Still a Twin. Cody, anything else you want to say about the rotation there?
Yeah, I think Bailey Ober is going to play a huge role in this team's second half success if he can come back healthy, if his hip is fine. We know Zebby went on the rehab assignment. Hopefully he's back for the beginning of the second half. It's not technically the second half, but we call it the second half. I think we're like 53%, 54% done with this season. But yeah, no, I'm excited to have Pablo back, Zebby back. Hopefully Ober is healthy. Like this rotation could be dominant again and adjacent to what we saw in May. So I think that's going to play a key role in if the Twins can get one of the wild card spots, because I think the Central is taken by the Tigers, unfortunately, but I don't think that's breaking news to anyone.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Greg, any initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, following that up on the starting pitching, I don't want to start looking ahead quite so too quickly. But there are pieces in this starting rotation that make me comfortable that like 5 of them are going to figure it out. But there are so many questions with this rotation, and yet, like Cody said, they've been very, very good 3 out of 4 months. That month in between was miserable. One of the things that I kind of noticed and kind of thought, and I don't know if I'll ever get around to writing this, but it seems like guys who are struggling are getting a longer leash in games than guys who are pitching really well. Like Simeon Woods Richardson, after coming back up, what a turnaround he's been.
Yeah.
But you're getting all of kind of the complaints about how Simeon Woods Richardson is only going 5 innings and he's only given up 1 run or 0 runs or whatever. And obviously, there's some time and score to that. But part of it is the Twins just spent so many games just kind of waving the white flag, where you have like Bailey Ober out there and struggling through whatever is ailing him, whether that is a hip thing, whether that's a mechanics thing, whatever. And he's kind of being left out to dry in some ways, but also it really seemed like they were just like, hey man, try and figure this out. We're already out of this game. You got 100 pitches, figure out if you can pitch through this. Which definitely is hurt. If you just you're looking at the numbers on the scoreboard, there were a lot of situations like that. They did that with Festa recently.
It happened to Paddock too.
They've done it with Paddock. They did it with Zebby Matthews in his last start, actually, before the injury, which bad timing. They leave him out there for, did he go 6 or 7? I can't remember what he went.
Was that in Seattle?
Oakland, I believe.
Okay. I remember he blew up in the first against Seattle. He gave up 4.
Seattle. Okay. It would have been Seattle.
And then he went 7 though. So actually it was a pretty solid start all in all.
But you get things like that where it's how come he gets those innings? Because they're out of the game and they're just no, see if you can get 100 pitches and live to tell about it. It's almost what it kind of seems like they're doing in those situations, which was 50% of the month of June, it felt like.
Yeah, I mean, and I think with Sim specifically, it was justified for him to get pulled that last game against the Pirates after 4 2/3, because you had your whole array of Varlin, Jax, Duran, Stewart. Everybody was available. You had all all bullpen arms ready to go because of the All-Star break. But then you go back to a game against Houston where he's cruising through 5. He's in his hometown essentially. Could you stay out longer during that game? So there is kind of two sides of the coin of situational, if it makes sense or not. But I wonder if we do see guys like Sim and Festa go deeper in the game second half, or at least to begin the second half.
I wonder if we see both of them, honestly.
Right now, Zebby's back, I think. Well, Travis Adams is going to
take Travis Adams. Yeah, I wonder if Bailey Ober might also be back. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I haven't heard any update on him. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, so that kind of.
I thought you were a beat podcaster. Aren't you why aren't you in there asking the hard questions?
Yeah, you know what? I was there as a fan for the Nelly concert, and it just he wouldn't answer anything for me. I tried my best.
Yeah, he was at the Nelly concert. I saw that on Instagram, I think.
Yeah.
It's weird. Stop following athletes on Instagram. I find that very strange. I don't want to know anything about their personal lives.
No, I follow the Twins and all the Twins players. Is that weird? It's normal.
Personally, I find it weird, but I'm of a different generation.
They're public accounts and they're verified. It's not like I'm
Yeah,
Greg
I know,
is of the generation. Greg is of the generation that like shares a Facebook account with his wife. Like it's like Greg and blank Masterson. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I
Do
feel.
you
I
follow
feel
twins on
weird.
Twitter?
I felt like we've told the story about how I saw like Correa and his wife in the airport. I felt incredibly weird that I like looked at her. I'm like, hey, that's Correa's wife. I wanted to like set myself on fire for knowing that.
Do you follow twins on Twitter, Greg?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I might follow Byron Buxton, but other than
That's a little
that,
bit weird.
I don't think so. Why?
That's I don't know. You said it was
I prefer
weird.
to think of them as automatons who play baseball for me and not real people.
Okay.
Purely for our entertainment. Yep.
Exactly.
Right. That's a healthy.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
How about this? You brought up some interesting candidates for this next question I have for you guys. Cody, let's start with you. Who has given you some flashes of like cautious optimism that they can turn things around in the second half, or even just have a really good second half? If they're already looking good in the first, but we know that we expect Byron Buxton to be really good in the second half if he's on the field. Who gave you some cautious optimism that they could maybe turn some things around?
Yeah, one of my odd obsessions this year has been following Brooks Lee's OPS. And
I thought you were going to say on Instagram.
You mean Brooks' girlfriend or something, right?
I do follow Brooks Lee on Instagram. Okay, I'm not. This isn't like I'm okay. But
back in my day, if you followed a man around, that was called stalking.
All right.
I can make a joke. I'm not going to make a joke. But Brooks Lee, his OPS has gone from like the 650 range to like the 720 range. Right now, it's back down to the 680 range, I think. So. I mean, and his WRC plus is hovering around 100. So obviously he's better than the player that he was last year. Last year was pretty catastrophic. I think he had like a 75 WRC plus from both sides of the plate. You don't really know if you trust Lee from the right side of the plate still, but left-handed Lee, which is where he'll be hitting like 85% of the time. I feel like there is a reason to believe Brooks Lee could be a second half guy who has a WRC plus in like the 130 range and could really step it up, actually like find consistency and be, somebody who plays an integral role in the Twins being the playoff team. I don't know if, this is like the same kind of idea, but Luke Keeschel, I know he'll be back soon. He was incredible when he was healthy. And then, obviously him breaking his forearm, played it, the role in him being out, but I'm really cautiously optimistic that he will be play a big role in the Twins' ability to make the playoffs too. If it weren't for,
I definitely follow your hunch that his fractured forearm played a role in him not playing the last couple of months.
Hey, I've seen catchers play through broken wrist before.
Really?
No, I actually.
Okay. Greg, how about you? Anybody that's given you some cautious optimism for a positive second half?
I mean, I feel like I'm the biggest Bailey Ober truther on this podcast. I have optimism that, taking, I don't know what it's going to end up being, 3 weeks, a month, however long it's going to be. I feel like there is reason to believe that like the Twins' most consistent starter will return to being the Twins' most consistent starter going forward. I also want to throw out that I'm not quite out on Carlos Correa yet. I do think that he has shown some flash. Like he's not going to be like by the end of the year some 120, 130 OPS plus guy, but I think that he can have what?
Why not? He's been quite good after that terrible first month, albeit with much less power than we were expecting.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying like he won't finish the year at like on a pace for that. I mean, I think that like his year from a stat line perspective, like year-end stats, that's kind of out the window by now. I mean, he's still like a 10% below average hitter right now, and there's 70 games left.
Yeah, he has like a 92 WRC plus. He has like 1 F WAR. So I mean, but there is reason to believe he could get to 3 F WAR by the end of the year. I mean, he could be a guy who's hovering around like 105. But I mean, I agree it's probably too late to get to like a 120, 130 range. I mean, overall, but I mean, there is reason for to believe second half solely he could hit at like a 150 WRC plus pace though.
Do we believe that there's reason for optimism with Royce Lewis right now?
He's hitting the ball harder.
He's looking more comfortable at the plate. I'll give him that. He doesn't look like he's about to topple over every second. He's running faster, that's for sure.
Yeah. He looks solid.
That's true. Honestly, that might be the most encouraging thing I've seen from him all year is that he's actually like running.
He's actually like a solid defensive third baseman right now too. Like he's making good plays that are not routine.
We're all talking ourselves into it. Like, you know, we're all working really hard to talk ourselves into it.
I poked around a couple weeks ago with some people who are in the know, and I just asked them, hey, is Royce Lewis cooked? and they laughed and then just kind of moved on. I think Cody was in their presence when I asked them.
Yeah, and they said that he wasn't. And then I asked, is Deshaun Kersey cooked? And then they said Deshaun Kersey was never in the oven.
Oh.
So there's people in the know have a reason for optimism with Royce Lewis. Maybe not so much Deshaun Kersey, but
interesting.
I don't know. Like I just wrote something that published today. It was a story that had a lot of statistics. And I sent it in a week ago. And so every single day for the last week, the statistics all changed. And so I was like do I update this? Do I wait for it to get approved and then go in? And I think that Matt was probably waiting for just like the half to be over so that the numbers would be frozen in time for a few days.
There we go. He would have at least like 4 days to work on this.
Right. I mean, it took me a few days to finish. But it was going through kind of like who's underperformed their projections and who's overperformed their projections. And number 1 and number 2 are Royce Lewis and Carlos Correa, who are like, their WRC plus is like 50 points lower, which is insane. Like it's like a 130 versus, or like, I think Lewis was like 110 going into the year and it's 60 now. So 10% above league average versus 40% below league average. And Carlos Correa was like a difference of like 30. And then Matt Wallner was 4th on that list, which is just, I don't know, like I don't want to just keep going off on a tangent, but man, if those like good hitters could just hit, like,
how about this? If one of them could, how different would things be if one of them really showed up in a big way? It'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, like of that trio of Wallner, Lewis, Correa, like I am 100% confident that Correa is like the guy who can produce of the 3. Like that is the player I'm picking to have a better second half of the 3.
Have you guys seen the stat on Matt Wallner versus high fastballs?
Yeah, he's flailing.
I believe he has 1 hit in his entire career on a fastball in the upper third.
Mm-hmm. And pitchers are attacking him up there, even with like 94-mile-per-hour fastballs, and they're just blowing them.
I feel like half of his walks right now are just because they are like pitchers are spamming high fastballs and they're going like 8 inches above the zone and he's not chasing, because I'm sure that he also recognizes that he's not doing so hot against high fastballs. So it's not like he's like looking to swing against them or at least jumping at the opportunity. But yeah, man.
But I mean, he hit a lefty homer off Andrew Heaney. So your point.
So he's back. That's what you're saying. All right, how about this? Next question I have for you guys here. Cody, let's start with you. Who is your unsung hero on the Twins for the first half?
Ooh, my unsung hero.
Yeah, somebody who didn't get enough love. Not saying that they were necessarily some star player, but like somebody who's like, oh yeah, you know what? Quietly, this dude's been really solid, and he's helped the team in their positive games.
I'm going to take Greg's whole bit here, and I'm going to say Trevor Larnach hitting against right-handed pitching.
There we go. Good answer.
Yeah, because, there really is something to his WRC plus, like being hovering around average because of the fact that he's hitting against lefties so much this year. Yeah. That's really just like making like his counting stats look worse than they actually are. But Larnach is doing really well against righties. Obviously, like every Twins hitter, they're facing righties more than lefties. So he's been a solid cog in like the upper half of the lineup. I expect him to be, produce at the same rate in the second half of the year. And it was cool to see him hit a home run off Paul Skeens. He was very excited about that. But I really, I think just to see how Larnach has progressed from like when he made his debut to like, having to deal with injuries and then being demoted, promoted again. Like he was kind of stuck in that quad A cycle. This is like, he took off last year, but I really have a lot of faith in Larnach, and he's one of the few guys right now who I'm like, oh, cool, Larnach's up next in the order. I actually have, some optimism he could produce something. So, I'm going to go with Larnach against right-handed hitting to steal Greg's article.
Yeah.
Okay. Greg, how about you?
I should update. So Trevor Larnach this year against righties has an OPS of 787, which in modern baseball, that would probably be about 20% above league average.
Yeah.
That's not like an all-star hitter, but that is a very, very good piece of a good lineup. Against lefties, he has an OPS of 476. He's batting 169 against them with an on-base of 214 and a slug of 262. That's unplayably bad. That is worse than –
That's Christian Vasquez.
That's worse than Christian Vasquez in a bad Christian Vasquez year.
That's low leverage Ty France.
Unsung hero. I think that Ryan Jeffers has quietly been one of the Twins' best bats. I think that he right now, or I've seen fans critique his offense because it seems like he only gets garbage time buckets, if you will. But Ryan Jeffers has not, he hasn't been the hitter that he was 2 years ago in that incredible season where it's like, oh man, is Ryan Jeffers like a potential all-star? But he's been about 10% above league average as a hitter, and he's been a catcher, and his defense has not been atrocious, which his defense has been a question mark. And I think that he is now that I'm saying this, I have not looked at his Savant page lately. I don't know what Ryan Jeffers' defense
It's better than last year on the sliders.
He's passable. Let's just say he's a passable catcher who's actually producing and is like one of the top 5 bats production-wise in the Twins lineup right now.
Yeah.
We
finally settled the Ryan Jeffers versus Adley Rutschman debate. We're picking Ryan Jeffers.
The Orioles took 2 catchers in the first round, and they have had not to say drafting for need, but that's a wild thing when you have what was supposed to be a generational catcher to take 2 first-round catchers, college catchers. Anyway,
I wanna serve something up to Lou. Sweet Lou, the pride of North St. Paul. Lou Varland. Lou Varland's been great this year, right, Lou?
Sure has. That's coming from Sweet Lou from not North St. Paul. Yes, no, he has been good. He's put a good name. He's done us very proud. Us Lou's from St. Paul. There's a small handful of us. There's not a lot, but we get together around so on. I think my unsung hero, I'm going to have to say Nelly because I couldn't hear him sing. I couldn't hear him sing at the concert. So he gets my unsung hero. Jeffers was a good pick too. Sweet Lou Varland. The only thing I wouldn't call Sweet Lou Varland unsung because people are taking notice. He's quite good and he's getting a lot of shine recently and for good reason. He's been a big breath of fresh air.
Every team wants to trade for him right now, or every team's fan base is like, what do we need to do to get Lou Varland?
Yeah, no, that's I think everybody's going that. Did you guys see that mock trade that was floated out there? It was like Joe Ryan, Lou Varland, and Joan Duran for the Yankees, number 13, 14, and 15 prospects, or something unbelievably terrible.
Even I think that maybe was it Heyman that put something out yesterday that was something like that, and it was the Red Sox top 2 prospects. And you say top 2 prospects, but then you look at that cadre of pitchers and that there's no way. I don't care who you're top. I don't care if it's the number 1 and number 10 prospect in baseball. That's not gonna happen. These dudes are good.
Yeah.
That's the most frustrating part about this stupid Twins team is you look at so many of these guys, you're like, wait, this guy's good.
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Right.
That's another example of people analyzing baseball like it's football or basketball. Just one. I don't know. I wouldn't call this guy unsung because people have very, very loudly sung his praises. Cody Clemens. He's been a really nice addition. I don't think he's going to, keep these numbers up. He might be the second half starting first baseman, but I don't know. I mean,
how do we feel about Cody Clemens, the defensive first baseman?
He almost got seriously injured that last game.
Can we, real quick, this might be a bigger tangent, but how different would this club look if Alex Kirilloff hadn't retired and he was still, he's in the big leagues. He's going to be playing some outfield, left-handed guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing first base. Cody Clemens probably doesn't get claimed or traded for at that point. Things would look vastly different, I think.
I mean, the Twins still have his rights, and I'm sure,
Are you saying we should bring him back?
Yeah, should the Twins unretire Alex Kirilloff?
I'm writing it right now.
Right.
The biggest addition the Twins can make at the deadline is healthy Pablo Lopez and Alex Kirilloff.
All three of us ran to the Twins Daily Slack to put it in the channel first.
There we go.
So you can claim it. I'm going to write a piece on Alex Kirilloff for joining the Twins.
There we go.
The Twins are calling up Fort Myers realtor Alex Kirilloff. Like this is like 1912, and you're getting like a radiator repairman to come play first base.
Rumors are swirling that they're bringing back pipe fitting Boof Bonzer. Real quick, did that make the clip show? We haven't not heard the clip show yet. Greg, did Boof pipe fitting
No,
Boof
Bonzer did not. I have no part of the issue with the clip show is I don't know where these stupid clips are. So like there have been like people would suggest like, oh, you should do this one, and then I'll go through like 5 episodes. I'm like, I have no idea where this was. Like we don't have transcripts laying around. I have no idea. For example, it took me forever to figure out which episode was Greg's gripes against Bark in the Park. It was literally like the second episode, but I could not find it anywhere. I'm like, how am I supposed to find this? No. Okay. Anyway,
how about this?
Another unsung hero I would say out of the bullpen would be Willie Castro. Willie Castro has the lowest ERA on the Twins. He has only pitched 1 inning. But you know what? He has a FIP of 308, which I've been told by nerds is pretty good, and a BABIP of 250. He has actually a higher FWAR among Twins relievers than at least, 7? He's got a better FWAR than Cody Funderburk, Jonah Bride. Oh wait, no, this is as relievers. So Simeon Woods Richardson is also in this for his follower. Let's see, Jorge Alcala and Joey Wentz. So shout out Willie Castro.
Wow. He is not.
Some of those guys are still on the club.
Yeah, he's not a pitching pipeline product though because he came from Detroit.
Yes, that's right. They didn't develop him.
Yeah. Nice trade, Valby.
That's good. All right, so how about this? We talked about unsung heroes. How about unsung villains? Who has quietly dragged this team down to where they currently stand? Does anybody come to your mind as a unsung villain? Cody, what do you got?
I hate Ty France.
I feel like people are singing that, though.
I hate seeing him walk up to the batter's box, and
Cody, you're not supposed to hate France. They did all those revolutions.
Yeah,
they're your friends.
Yeah, Ty France is colonizing first base, and I don't like it.
Are you saying that you want to guillotine Ty France?
No. See,
that's what I'm hearing. That's what
I heard.
They're about to shut us down.
First, Sherry wants to make Trevor Larnach swim at the fishes. Now he's setting up the guillotine for scrub first baseman.
Who would you demote? Trevor
Greg, who's your unsung villain?
Unsung villain. Is it fair? No, I'm not gonna. It'd be hyperbolic to say Willie Castro. Because he's been he's had a good year. But I think that he's leading potentially the league in head-scratching plays.
Yeah.
Which, it is what it is. It's been very strange to see his production fall off. Anthony Meisowitz, I would say, is an unsung villain.
Okay.
Harrison Bader made a decision that was actual villain stuff. But
Cody, what that? Come on, man.
How about this? I have two answers.
Oh wait, that decision. Never mind. The decision to try and kill my wife. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that one.
I thought you were talking about the other one.
I wasn't talking about the other one.
All right. How about this? I got two unsung villains here.
Yeah.
My first one, and the second one will probably set Greg off into one. So I'll start with the first one here. Brooks Lee, I think, is a good player, and he does a lot really, really well. But like every 7 at-bats maybe, and they're usually like really important, he will have what is the worst at-bat approach I have ever seen of any player ever. And there's been a few times where it's really cost the Twins. Also, getting the ball stuck in his glove that would have ended that inning. Why is he wearing one of those H pockets or whatever it was? And it's like, well, because he wants a deeper pocket. What do you need a deeper pocket for at second base? I don't know.
Brooks Lee, it's very, because like everybody lauds how he has like he takes professional at bat. Like that has been the description for like his entire, even when he's struggling, it's like, but dadgummit, it's fun to watch him at bat. He doesn't walk really at all right now. And he's like, when he's not on, he is putting together like the ugliest at bats you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And he also has just like no power too. I mean, I know I was talking him up earlier. I remember
it's not like we're like completely dumping on it. It's just like
no, yeah.
Tim Laudner compared him to George Brett in shows.
Still got it.
I know, but like there are times where like you can see Brooks just like he just kind of just like pokes the bat out and just hope the ball just kind of like flies somewhere for like a single, and it's like you could be doing more than that.
Cody, will you do your?
Are we going to ignite Luis Arraez discourse?
Oh, here we go.
Is this a good player?
Hey, Cody, real quick, will you do your Tim Laudner impression of him talking up Brooks Lee as the next George Brett?
Yeah, so what you got here is a guy who can hit from both sides of the plate, but he can also hit left-handed. So when you see George Brett walk up to the plate, you see him in the left-handed batter's box. You could say the same thing about Brooks Lee when he's hitting left-handed. He's also in the left-handed batter's box. And what you're going to say about Brooks Lee, he's a guy here who's looking for an opportunity. And when George Brett came into the league, he was somebody who was looking for an opportunity too. So I think Brooks might, he could take advantage of his opportunity, might be the next George Brett. We don't know, but that's baseball.
But he is a ball player.
He is a ball player.
I listened to the post-game show for the first time, like maybe all season, and the first thing that I heard Tim Laudner say, maybe it was pregame, it was like, yeah, Ryan Jeffers is a good hitter, but I think sometimes he gets into the analytics, and then he's a bad player. All right. He just moved on. That was his whole point. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what people are talking about.
I'm picturing the Steve Jobs like pose where he's got his chin on his thumb saying these pearls of wisdom here. All right, my other unsung villain is the hosts and producer of Destination, the show, after the travesty that happened during their live broadcast yesterday during the MLB draft night one. Okay, first of all, they did a great job. It was super fun.
Yeah.
They do a great job on Destination, the show. If you're at all curious about prospects in general, but especially as they pertain to the Minnesota Twins, you got to give them a follow. But with that said, absolute unsung villains for what they did to my man yesterday. Greg, what happened?
They banned me from the chat. I did nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong ever. I did everything right and they indicted me. I was just minding my own business in the comments, and I was banned from commenting, even though I think I led the league in comments shown on screen that were not just updates of who was getting. Shout out to the guys in the chat who were just sending in every pick as it was getting announced, so that the host did not have to waste time looking through that, especially toward the end where it was like, they call it what I think the round is like 3 minutes, I think, in the second and third round. Mm-hmm. Shout out them. But yeah, so I was just minding my own business, not causing any stir, not getting into any trouble. And then I got a message as I typed in, a zinger. And it said, you are put in timeout. Like I got a pop-up from YouTube that says, you've been placed in timeout. Try again later.
Man.
I need to show you guys something on the camera. This is for the visual people only. So this is from a person affiliated with the live stream. I'm not going to name names, but this is a text that they sent me.
I came down with the hammer.
Yeah, and that was about Greg too. I'm not going to say who this is, but that's what happened to Greg too. That's what happened.
So I guess to add additional context, about halfway through the stream, I logged in on my laptop in addition to my phone, and it was on 2 different YouTube accounts.
Yep.
So I had 2 different YouTube accounts that were posting things in the chat, and then every so often I would like start arguing between the 2 accounts over who the real Greg is. And then they actually thought that there was a Greg impersonator.
Because
Oh my
Greg
God.
T. Masterson wasn't making Greg jokes. Like they weren't Greg jokes. And then
God.
Greg was saying, "Get this guy out of here. He's fake." So I fell for it.
We cannot have copy Gregs running around this planet. That is bad
Can you
news. to
imagine
have
a second
copycats.
Greg?
Oh man, unbelievable. Okay, well, that was a lot of fun. How about this? For our last few minutes here, we're going to go on to the next segment here. It's our last one of the day, and we're going to do an edition of The Closer.
Oh, no, hold on. Wait, hold on. Oh,
We are going to do an edition of The Closer. Later, 50 episodes later, we still got it. So we are going to do a quick round of 20 questions tonight. Greg and Cody are going to use their questions to try to figure out which twin I am thinking about. And how about this? Let's start with you, Cody. Who do you got? Or what's your
Can
first
you
question?
speak into the mic a little bit better,
Aaron
Lou?
Mike's a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
You're good now.
Everybody knows how 20 questions goes. These guys are going to alternate who asked the questions to me, trying to figure out what twin I'm thinking of. Let's start with Cody.
Okay. Pitcher.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Do we want to do alternating? Do you
Okay.
want
Yeah.
to do-
Sorry. Yeah.
okay.
Go ahead. Yep. So pitcher. Yes. Okay.
Pitcher, yes. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. What's the guy's name? Savant. Paul
You're already
Molitor
stumped.
era. Paul Molitor era.
Paul Molitor era, as in when he managed the
The
Twins.
manager. Was he in the Paul Molitor era of
He was not. He was not managed by Paul Molitor.
Okay. Baldelli? Question mark.
No exclamation point.
Okay. So he was Ron Gardenhire, I assume.
Yes. So
Okay.
that's your fourth question, though.
I know. I was like, dude, we're not pulling a Tom Kelly. Cody wouldn't know any of those names.
I know
Yeah.
some.
No, this was managed by Ron Gardenhire.
Okay.
And only Ron Gardenhire. Okay.
Okay. Were they reliever?
Yes.
Okay.
Did they also start?
Throughout their career, they have 0 starts.
Okay.
No. Were they right-handed?
I believe so. Confirming. No, they were lefty.
Okay.
Lefty. Are they still relevant to the game of baseball today?
Not particularly.
Okay. Did they record a save?
Yes.
Okay.
Did they register an ERA under 1 in the year 2006?
ERA under 1, 2006? No.
Hmm.
That was your 10th question, by the way. It's a halfway mark.
Okay. Did they play for a different team after the Twins?
After the Twins, yes, they did.
Okay.
You said they played for another team after the Twins.
Yes.
Correct. That's yours. That's a question.
Yeah,
No, I'm
that's
just
a question,
kidding.
Greg. You gotta.
Played for another team after the Twins.
Okay, was that team in the AL?
You're just stealing Greg's question.
Yeah, was that team-
No,
In the AL?
because Greg asked the question.
All right.
Cody.
Was that team in the AL after the Twins? Yes, he pitched for an American League club.
Cody, are you answering or asking another question?
You are. I asked the AL question.
Okay, I guess I get back-to-back questions.
All right.
Sorry, not to Cody. I'm asking Cody. His response was no, he's not relevant to the game of baseball today, right?
Yes. Well, he said
Okay.
no.
You know what? Did his teammate ever pick a fight with him after getting hit by a pitch?
No. I know who you're talking about. No.
Okay.
Gosh, I'm totally blanking, man. Did they?
Wait, actually, it's my question again as I get back-to-back questions. Was this J.C. Romero?
It was not. Not J.C. Romero. That was your 14th question.
Lefty reliever. Guardiera.
I'll give you a hint. What's going on this week in baseball?
All-Star
Okay.
game.
Lefty reliever, All-Star game.
You said it was a reliever. Was he in the target field era?
Yes.
Greg, you can keep asking. I'm totally blank right now.
Was he also in the Metrodome era?
In general, yes. Not with he didn't play for the Twins in the Metrodome.
Okay. I have a little bit of a blank spot around this time.
Yeah, that's my issue too.
You have 4 questions.
So we're talking about 2010 to 2015. Yeah. Left-handed reliever, not relevant to the game of baseball today. That he was an all-star. Recorded a save, so he's probably not just a run-of-the-mill. Oh, gosh, dang it. It's not Brian Dunsing because it's
All right, how about this? I'll give you another hint here. He was acquired at a trade deadline.
Matt Capps was right-handed, right?
He was right-handed, yeah.
Yep, he was. I'm not going to give you a question for that, but that is a question. Okay.
No, I was asking Cody.
Okay. All right.
Was it proven closer? He came from or went to the Rays. Trade deadline deal. Like 2015.
I know who you're talking about. It's not Kevin Jepsen.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh gosh, I feel so stupid.
He was acquired by the Twins at the deadline. Left-handed reliever. Sometime between 10 and 14, I would assume. Well, no, actually, because he was acquired at the deadline. Yes, you said?
He was acquired at a deadline.
He was acquired by the Twins at the deadline.
At a deadline, yeah.
A deadline. No, are we talking about an August deadline? Oh, no.
Was it Scott Diamond?
No, he was a Rule 5 pick. I'll give you guys one last question. What shot in the dark if you got one?
PJ Walter.
No, stop that. You're just naming Twins now.
Never mind, I said that.
Oh, you know who it is. Wait, you said he did not start. Dang it.
Who are you going to guess?
I was going to say Alberto Mejia.
It is not Alberto Mejia, but I like that you guessed both him and Jose Mijares, 2 heavy-set lefties out of the bullpen. No, the player who I am thinking of, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him. His name was Brian Fuentes, and he pitched for the Twins in 2010, and he was a closer. He had 204 career saves. Like he's a proven closer. And he was exactly what the Twins needed in 2010. He came to the club, pitched just 9 games because, like I said, I think he was acquired in August. 9 appearances, 1 save, 2.35 ERA, lefty out of the pen. That is awesome. That would be so sweet for them to go out and get a reliever who is that, effective at a trade deadline this year. I thought Brian Fuentes, 2010 was a good year too. It was good vibes. Twins had one of the best records in the American League, made the playoffs again after that exciting 2009. All for naught, all to be swept away by the New York Yankees yet again. But it wasn't Brian Fuentes' fault. So
I have
there it is, guys.
discussion.
Really? Okay. 2010, you would have been in second grade, something like that. Something like that. I don't know. Fifth grade. Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Well, this was a very fun. Oh, here. How about this? Should we go back to our walk-off question? What would your derby?
We are. I think we're even after I stumped you on Shane Robinson.
Oh yes, yep. You did stump me on Sugar Shane Robinson during 20 keys. That was a good one. Okay, well, fun. How about this? Let's go on to our walk-off question before we say goodbye for the night. What is your derby? What would you own at if you were part of some home run derby? It doesn't have to be home runs, obviously. I will start. My derby that I would be the top seed in is eating something stupid every time my wife goes out of town. Without a fail, I'm eating entirely too much when she leaves town. I am so good at just packing in the pounds. What do you guys think? Anything come to mind?
Sorry, why is it? Why do you only eat when your wife's out of town?
Yeah,
it's the only time I get fed. No. When I say something stupid, I'm well fed throughout the entirety here. But when she goes out of town, I eat stupid because like I eat like an entire family-sized Rising Crust pizza or like an entire bag of those Trader Joe's hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
What's that?
Why don't you do that when she's home?
Because I try to be presentable and I share and I'm very considerate of those around me. When she's gone, I am an absolute monster.
Like some type of like eating disorder.
Okay, I'm sorry I brought this up. What do you guys got for your stupid?
Just because people in your favorite countries like to starve, Cody, that doesn't mean that they're fill. It's something.
All right. Okay.
And stay sweet.
Okay.
What's your derby?
I would say, well, listen, it's not every day that I can bring up that I've actually been somewhat successful in another sports version of a home run derby before. I came in third in a state all-star game dunk contest once.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
And I also came in third for a college's dunk contest once out of 8 and out of 5. So not like that great, but... And honestly, if I'm bringing it up, I was probably not that great either, if I have to flex on it. But
you were in a dunk contest. If I could dunk, that's all I would do for the rest of my life.
It is. The older you get, the harder it is, man.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, so yeah, I did. But my actual home run derby would be reaching things on the top shelf at the grocery store. I would dominate that.
I would put money on you, Greg.
Pick the peas all the way from the back. Man, they would run out of peas at the grocery store.
That's a good one. Cody, how about you? What's your derby?
You go hard on like sugar-free sodas. It's like
Diet behind me, brother. Get in line.
I've been into Zevia a lot lately. I've been going on those.
Oh,
yeah.
So Zevia? No free ads, but
it's a stevia flavored soda. So they have like colas and fruit flavored. Yeah, but I could go hard on some sugar-free sodas. See who I could beat on that.
I'd love to see you just shotgunning an Olipop or like a Poppy or something.
Yeah, this is slamming three Diet Cokes.
Yeah. Listeners, hey, let us know. What would your derby be? We would love to know. And if you send in something funny, we will absolutely read it on the next episode. So please let us know. What was your derby? Well, I think that's all we got here for.
I've got one more thing I want to do before. I think that it's time. I think that we should have an in memoriam. Let's see. Can I play some sad music? How sad is this music?
That was mid-sad.
I'm trying to put it to the right. There we go. I would like to have an in memoriam for the Twins' careers of Scott Blewett, Jorge Alcala, Joey Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
No, Darren McCacken is still here. He might come back. Let's see here.
I love the idea of somebody doing an in memoriam and being like, no, they're not dead yet, but they will be soon.
Jonah Bride.
Yeah, he's in AAA.
Oh yeah, he did. He's still around. This is a crappy in memoriam. Sorry for all of those living who were named in the in memoriam. I think that those are all the names. Honestly, that's actually a lot less turnover than I expected.
So, probably Randy Dobnik. I don't think we're gonna see him again.
No, he's still around.
I feel like I think we're gonna see another Dauber. I think that we're gonna see another appearance from Carson McCusker. I think will show up at least once more. Fitzgerald, I feel like is borderline, but I could see it.
I hope we don't.
Did I say Mickey Gasper? I feel like Mickey Gasper hasn't seen his last Twins game this season.
He has a lot of years of control.
We're losing the plot of in memoriam here.
Anyway, so Jonah Bride.
He's still in AAA.
Joey Wentz. Dadgummit. Joey Wentz.
Scott Blewett.
Jorge Alcala and Scott Blewett. We thank you for all of the memories that you have given us as Twins.
Indeed. You're a part of the story now, forever and always. Okay, well, everybody, thank you so much for listening. We've had so much fun over these last 51 episodes here. Here's to many, many more. Please keep sharing our stuff with folks that you think might like it. We would love to keep this party going and start some new fun things here. So thank you so much for your time. Greg, Cody, anything else you want to say before we take off?
Stay sweet.
If I see one Wade Berglund comment, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Poor Wade has been named in back-to-back episodes now. He's going to feel targeted.
Another host at this point.
I'm sorry. Like Wade Berglund, who is the guy who continues to say that I have no credibility because I won't see my face. Please, Wade. Please tell me why it damages my credibility. I really just want to know why, seeing my ugly mug is going to validate or invalidate. See, this is why I hide my face. I want my takes to stand on their own.
Say something, Wade.
AI. Greg,
dear. I have some thoughts on. Never mind. No, I'm going to threaten to kill.
Save for the Patreon. Save that one for the Patreon. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for joining. We will talk to you tomorrow for day 3 of Podnanza. Also, you may not have noticed, but we did not do Greg's Gripes tonight because Gripes Giving is coming up this Thursday. So beware. And until then, everybody, stay sweet.